Hello. Welcome to Diversus channel. In this video, the incredible story of the natives' life. Why are the natives one of the most unknown people in history? I hope you like this video. Indigenous culture is one of the most difficult and complex cultures to solve in the world. These conscious people, who settled in the Australian lands 50,000 years ago, brought everything that they have lived since then to this day in encoded music and stories. Please stay with us until the end of the video. Who are the natives? The term natives refers to a variety of indigenous peoples who have lived in the Americas for thousands of years. These people have diverse cultures and languages, with many distinct tribal identities. In the United States, there are more than 500 different Native American tribes. Native Americans are known for their unique customs, art, and traditions, and many still practice traditional spiritual ceremonies and beliefs. Historically, Native Americans have faced marginalization and displacement due to the arrival of European colonists in the Americas. Although they suffered greatly during colonization, Native Americans are still proud of their heritage and culture, and many continue to practice traditional practices and beliefs. Today, they are often referred to as the First Nations or Indigenous peoples of the Americas. Where did they come from? The origins of the natives are shrouded in mystery. Some believe that the indigenous people of North America first arrived over 15,000 years ago via a land bridge from Asia. Other theories suggest they came from Central and South America, while some maintain they were always here in North America. No one knows for sure how they arrived in North America, but what is known is that the native people lived a largely nomadic lifestyle in small bands or tribes as hunter-gatherers. They traveled through the continent, following the seasonal migration of animals, plants, and other resources. Each tribe had their own language, beliefs, and customs that were passed down through generations. The natives were organized into complex societies, built on cooperation and communal sharing. They lived in harmony with the land and its resources, utilizing them in ways that respected their environment. Unfortunately, the native people's traditional way of life was drastically altered when European colonists began to arrive in the late 15th century. As settlers claimed more and more land and began to impose their own beliefs and laws, many native tribes were forcibly relocated or wiped out completely. To this day, the legacy of colonialism remains a source of struggle for many native communities. What was their life like before Europeans arrived? The life of the native people before Europeans arrived was marked by deep connections with the land, a strong sense of community, and long-held spiritual beliefs. Before colonization, the natives lived in a decentralized system where individual clans held distinct territories. Clan leaders provided guidance and were responsible for decisions on hunting and gathering, as well as religious ceremonies. Within their own clan territories, they lived in villages, practicing agriculture, hunting and gathering food, crafting tools, and living according to their spiritual beliefs. They had a highly developed culture that was based on oral tradition. Native communities had strong social bonds and familial ties. Community members shared resources and supported each other during times of need. They respected the wisdom of elders and consulted them for important decisions. Spirituality played an important role in the life of the natives before Europeans arrived. They believed in a spiritual force that connected all things and had an understanding of time that was not based on linearity. Their spirituality was rooted in the natural world, with a focus on nature, animals, and ancestors. They held ceremonies such as sweat lodges, sun dances, and vision quests to honor their connection to the divine. Overall, the life of the natives before Europeans arrived was one that was deeply connected to the land, filled with spiritual meaning and reverence, and steeped in communal relationships and support. How did European colonization affect them? When Europeans began to colonize the Americas, they brought with them a long history of conquest, domination, and exploitation. From their first arrival in the late 1400s, the Europeans disrupted the traditional way of life for the native peoples. They brought diseases that decimated large portions of the population, stole resources, destroyed sacred lands and artifacts, and forced many natives into oppressive labor and assimilation policies. The colonial period was a time of immense change for the native people. Colonization meant the disruption of traditional practices, including ceremonies, religious rituals, governance, and economic activities. Many natives were forced off their lands, either through intimidation or by government mandate. Those who stayed faced a new system of exploitation as white settlers took control of resources and imposed unfair labor practices. The Spanish colonizers were particularly harsh in their treatment of native people. They forced conversion to Christianity and held many natives as slaves. The consequences of European colonization continue to be felt today. Native populations around the world still struggle to gain recognition and equal rights under the law. In many areas, Native people are denied access to traditional lands, face environmental degradation, and lack basic services such as healthcare and education. Moreover, the cultural practices that have been passed down for generations continue to be threatened by assimilation and discrimination. As a result, many native communities have been lost and the once vibrant cultures have been weakened. What is life like for them now? Today, the lives of the natives have drastically changed. Most of them live in cities, working in factories, offices and other urban settings. Others still live in rural areas, their lifestyles largely unchanged from the past, with a few exceptions. While some are able to hold on to their traditional culture and beliefs, many natives have been assimilated into the modern world, their language, customs and culture slowly disappearing. In recent years, a number of native groups have begun to gain recognition and visibility, thanks in part to the internet and social media. This has enabled them to share their stories and perspectives on a global stage. In addition, native organizations around the world have started to organize and advocate for rights, respect and better living conditions. Despite these developments, there is still a long way to go in terms of achieving full recognition and respect for native cultures and traditions. Discrimination against natives remains an issue in many parts of the world and they continue to struggle to secure their rights and improve their quality of life. As such, it is important that we continue to fight for their rights and strive to create a society where all people can enjoy equal rights and opportunities. To get other undiscovered secrets, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video and share it with your friends. Thank you.